Today's guest is the amazing Tamer Nafar. He's a Palestinian rapper, social justice activist. In 1948, we know that there are internal refugees and there are people whose families were displaced and forcibly expelled during the Nakba, but they just ended up in a village like 5 kilometers away.
From the tunnels of Gaza, what's more underground than this? That has to be one of the hardest lines in hip-hop history.
Am I an artist? Am I an activist? Do an interview. And they're like, so you do politics and this is what you think about Gaza? And it was like, fuck you, I have sex songs. On specific May, I was an activist. At least it defined what being a Palestinian living inside of Israel means. It means that we have the right to use all the services that we pay for, but when it comes to symbolism and Zionism, ideology, fuck it.
Hello and welcome to Palestine Pod, the weekly podcast where we break down the latest headlines dealing with Palestine from all over the world and bring you stories, commentary, and interviews with the aim of supporting the Palestinian struggle for justice and equal rights. I'm one of your hosts, Lara E. You might know me from Instagram as @GazanGirl, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mikey.
What's up, y'all? Mikey B on TikTok, Michael Schertzer on Instagram, and you can call me Mikey Intifada if you claim to be indigenous to the land of milk and honey, but you're actually lactose intolerant.
That's a good one. So before we get into today's episode, please like, comment, and subscribe if you hang out with us on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcast app, subscribe and leave a review. As always, you can find our full episodes and sources on PalestinePod.com. And if you want to get involved in the conversation, reach out to us at PalestinePod@gmail.com and give us a follow on Instagram @PalestinePod. We're also going strong on Patreon, so if you love the Palestine Pod and you want to support this project, join our Patreon. We're also hosting our monthly Zoom happy hours, Patreon subscribers only, so really exciting stuff. Check us out on patreon.com/PalestinePod. Today's guest is the amazing Tamer Nafar. He's a Palestinian rapper, actor, screenwriter, and social justice activist, hailing from the infamous city of Lydd. He is the leader and founding member of DAM, the first Palestinian hip-hop group. Tamer, welcome to the Palestine Pod. Thank you so much for being here. We are obviously both huge fans, so it's a real pleasure and honor to have you. So Tamer, let's get started.
The Beat Never Goes Off dropped in September 2021. It features MC Abdul and Noel Carmen. It is an absolute banger. I saw it pretty much immediately when it came out, and I was super hyped. I think I even commented from the Palestine Pod page account on the video. MC Abdul is the 12-year-old child prodigy rapper hailing out of Gaza, who went viral for rapping in front of the rubble of a destroyed building during the assault in May. The people in Gaza reacted to the rubble in truly remarkable ways. I saw some kids doing parkour on it. MC Abdul managed to harness the image to use it to spread his message. It reminds me of what Lara said during one of our episodes during the assaults. In the midst of death, we teach life. Can you get your thoughts on that, Tamer?
Yeah. We shot the video during the incident that happened on May. We planned to shoot the video way before, but, shit happened. And to be honest, and to be sad at the same time, if you watch the video with me and MC Abdul, you can see the buildings of Al-Manara buildings not existing anymore. Because actually, we planned to shoot on the Al-Manara buildings, and just when the strike happened on Gaza and when the incidents happened, locations in Gaza kept being destroyed and just made us change locations the whole time. So that's all I remember, because I was part, other than being sad, it was just, how do we shoot a video between a guy who's living in Lydd and a guy who's living in Gaza?
I would not want to be the location scout for that video.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I understand you, sir. It was shot in Gaza and it was shot in Lydd. And actually, I had an idea from the beginning to have a split screen between Gaza, way before the incident, between Gaza and between Lydd. Unite us on the screen with the split screen. I don't know if you know the video of Skepta and A$AP Rocky. Praise the Lord. where I think they shot it in the US and in the UK, and they had this amazing screen split editing. It's very amazing with a little bit of animation. So that was the idea. But then the director of the video, Michel Zananiri, was like, the separation is there. I don't want to split it. Let's think of a different way. This is what he had the idea of, using the separation wall to unite us. So
wow.
Yeah.
So you and
brilliant.
So you and MC Abdul were never actually in the same place.
No, he was born. When was Gaza started the under siege? 2000 and what? I don't think he was alive.
Yeah.
2006, I think. Yeah.
He's 12 years old. So calculate it. Dude, I don't think he was alive back then.
Yeah.
And if so, he was a baby. No, I don't think he was ever out of Gaza.
Yeah. And of course, for you, it would be impossible to go into Gaza.
A mosquito cannot go into Gaza. After a mosquito wants to go to Gaza, right. I'm just saying.
When you all said, "Are you down with it?" and then MC Abdul said, "From the tunnels of Gaza, what's more underground than this?" Dude, that has to be one of the hardest lines in hip hop history. Truly, like I got goosebumps when that. For those who don't know, and maybe some who aren't big hip hop fans, underground is a term in the rap community, which means an artist that doesn't have a ton of commercial support, a giant label or machine behind it, right? It can mean like an independent artist, but it's a word associated with someone who is a hard worker, someone who struggles, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. And it also means keeping your ear to the streets, being accessible, and remembering those who you came up with, bringing everybody up with you, right? Can you speak to the influence that U.S. slang has had on your music?
Oh, yeah, of course. I've been using the word underground. Yeah, I'm so underground. I'm so underground. Since I started in 99, I have a lot of punchlines about underground. I remember, I'm going to translate it because it's Arabic punchlines. So it's hard for me to. I think the first ones were like, I'm so underground that my upper neighbors, that's what you said? My upper neighbors? My upper neighbors keep screaming Kawabanga. I think it was mentioned.
What do you say in Arabic? You say تحت الأرض?
No, تحت أرضي. تحت أرضي. Or you just go. أنا كل هالقد underground جيراني الفوق بيصرخوا Kawabanga. Something like that. But actually it was a line that I used in a song. That way before I met MC Abdul, way before I knew that he was rapping. It was a song that I did like 5 years ago. It's called Fayadan, and I'm using there the line underground from the tunnels of Gaza. What's more underground than this? I was using it, and I never released it. Don't ask me why I never released it, but I guess there was a reason. When I wrote The Beat Never Goes Off, I recorded it and I sent it to MC Abdul. He's 12 years old. No, he's now 12 years old. When I did that, he was like 11. And I sent it to him, and he sent it back to me recorded. I wish I can play you what I did record before him so you can know how he took it to that next level.
Wow.
He just came in. Because when I recorded it, I remember I recorded my verses so full of confidence, but when I recorded his verses, I was like thinking as a kid, I was like thinking as a kid. But when he came back to me, he was like no hesitating at all. He wasn't a kid; he was ready. So I was like, okay, something is cooking here. So I'm pretty sure, like 2-3 years from now, when he starts writing his own shit, I'm pretty sure that
Oh yeah, he's about to blow up for sure. He's a huge
inshallah,
huge deal already.
Inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
During this latest Intifada of Unity, we saw connections being made between Palestinians living in 48, Palestinians in Jerusalem, the West Bank, and Gaza, and those living in exile all over the world, in a way that was very exciting for me personally, and also I'm sure very emotional for many Palestinians. Can you talk about what it felt like from your perspective living in Lydd, right? Coming together and making a project with a child prodigy from Gaza?
No, the connections were always there, especially in hip hop. It's like, come on, hip hop is the most the biggest unity in the world, honestly. If you go to any rock album or you go to classic album, the word featuring comes mostly in hip hop. I'm not the first. I am the first rapper in Arabic hip hop or the Middle East, but there were a lot of artists before me, but they always work alone, solo. Maybe once in 100 tracks you have a duet track. If you go into a hip hop album, it starts with Tupac featuring I don't know, Kanye featuring. It's always featuring. So unity is in hip hop way more than beefs and disses. So before this Intifada happened. Did it get the name Intifada? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, people have referred to it as the Intifada of unity.
Okay, the unity happened way before. Come on, we've been collaborating with Algerians, Moroccan, and Egyptians and Jordanians ever since 2004. Hip hop made it way before unity. Hip hop was, united way before unity. I think that this line of Palestinians and Arabs working together happened before. I think that the May was like a marker, it just marked it. But I think it happened way before. Maybe because now the influencers, like which I respect, TikTokers and bloggers, and it just got that volume, and it just raised that volume. But it was way before. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe you can speak to whether or not you thought it was an intifada, since you were in Lydd, which is sort of like the epicenter of where the liberation struggle was taking place.
I'm not a historian. I'm a musician. I don't know who decides what's an intifada, what's not.
I saw the settlers pack up and leave, and I was like, "Oh wow, so something's happening, right?"
They're still here, bro.
I know they came back eventually, right? But there was like that. Left. Oh, word?
Yeah, they're just here.
Okay, bet. Well, that's the difference between like living there and like seeing it on social media, because it's like. What I saw on social was I saw a bunch of people dip.
Well, yeah, I don't feel that privileged that I have that knowledge. So they're just here. Whatever happened, and I'm sure we will understand. I'm so happy with the unity that happened after it. I'm so happy. If I want to look at the positive side, I'm so happy that people knows that at least us, not just Lydd specifically, and Palestinians who are living inside of the 48, yes, we live here as citizens, yes, we pay taxes, and yes, sometimes we need the Israeli, it's our right to have the Israeli ambulances, whatever. So yes, we do deserve, because we pay taxes and everything, because we are citizens here. So yes, we do deserve all those services. But when it comes to ideology, fuck it. That's at least. So it's like when at least it defined what being a Palestinian living inside of Israel means. It means that we have the right to use all the services that we pay for and use it as an instrument. But when it comes to symbolism and Zionism, I'm going all the way against it. So. And that's something that I think that changed.
For sure. Let's talk about hip hop again. So hip hop is a music discipline founded by Black Americans in the Bronx in the 1970s when the Black liberation movement was active and gaining momentum. Which hip hop artists influenced your style the most? Who did you listen to growing up? And what are your thoughts on the long-standing ties between the Black and Palestinian liberation movements?
I keep changing my heroes, man. I mean, I must say that, of course, I started with Tupac. Tupac made me listen. I mean, not just nod my head to whatever the fuck people are playing in parties. He just made me listen. He just made me go buy a dictionary and just search for the meanings. So Tupac made me listen. I'd say Nas made me read. Eminem made me rhyme. Every rapper have that influence on me. I can go from the punchlines of Talib Kweli to the attitude of Jay-Z to that alien flow, that flow of Andre of Outkast. I can go to that chillness of Wayne. I can go. I can be influenced by. I can be influenced. I'm influenced when 50 Cent made me feel that I can be melodic as well. So I cannot go into a specific. Some rappers made me be sharper when it comes to politics, and some rappers made me say, "Fuck it, I want to be an entertainer." So there's always that beautiful struggle that during my career became just a beautiful harmony. So I'm influenced by anything, by everyone, and I'm driven by, it's all about energy. I mean, even if I hear rappers goes with an amazing flow talking about bitches and stuff that I don't agree to, I'm mature enough not to use the word bitches, but I'm artistic enough to like, okay, I like that flow. I'm going with that. So I'm influenced by energy, whatever. I might be influenced by this interview as well.
We could only hope so. Yeah.
For the last 6 months, I'm influenced by Palestinian artists that I think I influence. Like there's this new generation that grew up in my music and now is doing his own thing, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm influenced by whatever you're bringing to the game. Something fresh, new to my ears. So I'm influenced by the people who I influence.
I actually have noticed the same thing, that there is this new up and coming generation that is taking rap and then showing the diversity of the Palestinian experience, diversity in the struggle, the diversity in the life experience, whether you're in exile, whether you're, in 48 or, living under occupation or whatever it may be. Two of my favorite Palestinian rappers right now exemplify that. So one of them is Mehrak, who is a Palestinian rapper that grew up in the Yarmouk refugee camp. Obviously, his family's originally from 48, but his lyrics are very raw and intellectual and struggle focused. Melody and the music is very like lo-fi sort of like
respect Mehrak. I respect his music.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's actually my client. We worked together to get his family refugee status in France, but that's how I met him after they had to flee Syria and Lebanon. But his music is so inspiring to me and really puts me in a mood that I love. And I feel like he probably was influenced by you. I haven't had that conversation, but I feel like it. And the other one who I'm listening to now is a totally different vibe. It's Salam, who's a Palestinian, Algerian, French, Serbian artist, grew up in Gaza, now is in California. And he's trying to do this whole Palestinian Draking with references to like Kanafani and Edward Said in his lyrics.
What's his name?
Saint-Levant. So it's like a play on Saint Laurent, but it's Saint-Levant.
He also goes by Marwan.
Well, yeah, that's his name.
I'd love to hear his music. If you can send it to me, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I'll send you his latest, 1001 Nights. He raps in Arabic and in English and in French. And so it creates this incredible vibe, and his production quality is like 100%. Like it's ready for radio. He also
does a lot of sampling. He does a lot of sampling of like Edward Said, or even just like sort of vitriolic videos that are making inflammatory statements about Arabs in general. He'll cut that and use that as a sample in the music. And it's really cool how he flips it.
Please link me. I would love to hear that. Cool.
And he's somewhere between like the past and the future. So that's what I really love about it, because when he raps about a free Palestine, he raps about it like he's already in it. And it's a party, So it's kind of a new, fresh perspective.
Poetry and hip hop is a large part of Palestinian resistance. When we think of Palestinian poets, right, we think of Mahmoud Darwish, Mohammed El-Kurd has a book of poetry, and MC Abdul name drops Fadwa Tufan. Can you speak about how Palestinians have historically used poetry as a form of self-expression and resistance, and how you're continuing that legacy through your music?
I think every culture in the world uses poetry. It's not just something very exclusive to us. But when it comes to the song, the beat never goes off with MC Abdul. When I wrote it, I thought that, yeah, everybody knows that Mahmoud Darwish is the face of the poetry in Palestine, but we also have females and women. So that's why I thought it was a mix of I'm a little Abu Anta, little Black Panther, a little Honda, little Biggie, little Pac, Atuqan, Fed, Malcolm in the Middle, East, Gaza. I just wrote things that I'm influenced by. Even I can go from Malcolm X to Malcolm in the Middle. I'm not putting them in the same level, of course. I'm just saying this is what my brain received in different moods in my life. I always believe that if you go to the face of each country and culture, mostly it's going to be a male. So I just decided that no. But we have Fadwa Tuqan as well. She's actually one of, I think she's the most famous of the famous poet from her three brothers. But, she was in front. So that, I just thought that it was very important.
Cool. Thanks for your answer.
Yes,
so I have a question. In your song, Raja al-Bayt, you sing about returning home. For Palestinians in exile like myself, we are so far from home that it's almost like this dream to return. We know that it's our right, and we certainly haven't conceded it, but in many ways it feels dreamlike, as we're so geographically and culturally distant from it and removed from it. I just wanted to...
You live in the US, right?
I live in France, but I grew up in the US and I was born in Kuwait.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get your views on what it's like to sing about Raja al-Bayt, but you're on the land, but in 48 we know that there are internal refugees and there are people whose families were displaced and forcibly expelled during the Nakba, but they just ended up in a village like 5 kilometers away or 10 kilometers away, and what that experience is like, and is that the experience of your family?
No, we were just talking about it just like an hour ago. We had guests from the north, and it was like from Nasra or Heg. I think that there's a big difference between what happened in the north and what I think I don't want to. I need to check it historically, but I think there was a big difference between what happened in the north and what happened in the center. I think that people in the Haifa was actually the transfer people from Haifa, but a lot of places they were kicked from their house to the village next. But here in Lydd, in the center, people were kicked from Lydd to Lebanon, and I'm sure other places like that. But there was something here that happened that just got us into a place where I think we have hardly like 4 or 5 originally families from Lydd living inside of Lydd now. The rest are people who were kicked from Naqab, from all over. And the song Raja al-Bayt is one of the songs that just took me so long to write, because I didn't want to write like what do the refugees feel and want to come back. So I just addressed it as me. I started with من ناحية الدنيا والطربة كلها من. First I just started as a personal level. That's just how important house is for me as Tamer. Just when I finish shows, when I finish my day, all I want to come home is and just listen to that sound of my key turning والمفتاح يلف يلف. Just how important the home is. How important the home is. Doesn't matter. Cheers, where everybody knows your name. That's home is. But then I started talking about not about refugees missing their homes, but I was like, what, me here, like fish bite بدونك. It's like home is amazing والمفتاح يلف يلف بس في شيء ناقص, something is missing. Yeah, you are missing the refugees. fish bite بدونك. This house is nothing without you. في ضي بس مش ضي عيونك. Yeah, there is a light, but it's not the light of your eyes. fish طي بدون fish bite بدونك. حلمت انك عدت على بلد. Yeah, I dreamt that you came back and you just wanted to see the city and you're lost because they changed the letters of the streets, because they changed all the names. So I just decided to take that song and talk about how my life, me here, how Palestine would be if you were just here. if you were just here, how things would have been different for me. I really felt weird to talk about refugees that lives outside of Palestine when I'm not there, when I'm here. So it just took me a while to break that barrier. I was like, just talk about you. Why would you want them here? And this song is about, dude, we miss you. It's just the home is cool, but it's I wish you were here. That was the idea of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was there too. It's
انت تقدريش تفوتي؟
بقدر افوت بس ما بقدر اعيش. بقدر افوت بس يعني
يعني tourist in your own land.
Tourist in your own land, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your song Fashimashi, which great name by the way, Fashimashi, you say strong, but it doesn't mean that we will liberate Palestine. And that lyric caught my attention because a lot of the times the message is about liberation, and here you're like this hint of pessimism or this hint of realism or this hint of just like being fed up.
But this song was about, you remember that
it was about voting, right?
Yeah, it was about voting. Remember that song, that whole campaign of Vote or Die?
Yeah.
So this song was only for that period of time of asking Palestinians inside of Israel to vote. And I'm saying, I'm not expecting to free Palestine through the Knesset. But the idea of the song was, let's use the Knesset as an instrument, the parliament, as an instrument, as a tool, just for that specific situation. That just let's be strategic. Of course, I don't think I can free Palestine in a racist parliament. The idea was just okay. Freeing a nation is okay, something that we can build. It's going to take time, but for nowadays, these are the tools that we have, and these are the days that we have. So let's use this to do X, Y, Z. That was the idea. It's just it's okay not to be emotional and be a strategian.
I've heard you describe voting inside of Israel as a democratic tool in a non-democratic system, right? Where do you think what are your thoughts after the latest election, and where do you think that voting falls on the spectrum of tools to resist the occupation?
I was not happy of the results at this whole Mansour Abbas, and I wasn't happy, and somehow it put me in that corner of, okay, so you have 100% of life. You cannot control 99%. So either you're going to spend your life looking for that 99% or just focus on that 1%. And this is where I decided that I'm an artist. Yes, I'm going to talk about politics. Yes, I'm going to do this and that and influence whatever I can. But remember that your main power is art, rhymes and syllables. This is your energy. And this is how you're going to maintain serving and receiving in this world. I'm not happy about these results. I'm sure I'm not going to be happy about the results that's coming after and after. And maybe someday I was like, okay, it was worth it because I'm going to be happy about some positive results in the future. But instead of just overthinking of that, this is the corner that I'm really focused on. Just making music because I think this is where I can make a change, even a small one, Yani.
I used to work in politics. I used to manage campaigns for city council. I used to ghostwrite policy and stuff. And I just got fed up because I was literally at one point bringing suitcases of cash to politicians' offices so that they would meet with my boss. And I was like, this is good for me. And then I turned into an artist, right? I'm a stand-up comedian, and I also am a rapper as well.
Oh, wallah, I didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm not published. I don't have a ton of work out there, but I'm pretty nice with it.
Movement. Yeah, stand up. You might do some new movement. Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Please send me your stuff. I would love to hear that.
Michael, you gotta send him the one. I'm trying to find it right now. The one they.
Oh, the song I did with the other Palestinian rapper? Yeah,
yes,
for sure. I will.
You gotta send him that one. Your most streamed song on YouTube is Salam Ya Sahbi. Why do you think?
YouTube, I have.
On your YouTube, yes.
Salam Ya Sahbi, I think it's our third Nakba. We have the Nakba, we have the Naksa, and I think that we are facing now is also a third thing. One of our biggest problems nowadays for the Palestinians who are living inside of Israel is the crime rate. We are already around 110 victims. We passed the rates of Brazil and Chicago way before, like long time ago. Salam Ya Sahbi is addressing that thing. And you have a lot of strong lines where in every demonstration against the crime, in front of the Israeli police or the Israeli municipality, they use lines from that song. And it's a struggle for me to be so proud to have my lines, but at the same time, it's like not. I wish you can use my positive lines and not those ones. They specifically use those two lines, but they always have a consign. ساعديني بالترجمة لو سمحتي. اتصلوا كذبوا قولوا يهود انطخ.
Oh yeah, this one, like I was like, whoa, call, and the reference is like call like the ambulance, tell them that a Jew has been shot. Because otherwise so they won't come.
Yeah, so this is one of the most used lines in the demonstrations, and it's just every time they tag me or they mention me, I was like, wow, I'm proud that they use my line, but it's just I'm not supposed to be happy with that. It's just confusing,
Yeah,
it just makes you feel good with your ego that your lines are being used, but at the same time, it's just. I wish that you can use my other word plays where no one was being harmed. This is the song Salam Ya Sahbi, and it's a song that it's a song that it's very emotional for me because I think I did that song. I think I did that song like 10 years ago, and it took me like 30 minutes to write that. And it just gave me like to do a reflection because there are songs that it takes me like 2 months to overthink them and they don't succeed as much as I did this. It just makes you think that sometimes you don't need to overthink things. It's that song that gave me that change in the way that I should treat lyrics. Like I was tired of people expecting me to be you talk about Palestine. Like I'm a news reporter. Like I'm literally checking the microphones. Like, so now we have snow. I don't see. It's not like whatever I see, I report. I use metaphors. I create this parallel world to whatever is happening here. So please give me credit for my individual talent. Not. So this song was specifically of how do I found that balance between reality and between a creation. So this song basically is, if people listen to it, it talks about me. It starts with those lines. Please help me, Lara. صاحبي حبيبي على الأرض بنازع 11 خزق بجسمه عندي بس 10 أصابع. This is the first two lines.
Yeah, well, it's a reference to his friend having bullet holes in him.
حبيبي على الأرض بنازع.
Habibi,
my friend,
my friend, my sweetheart, he's on the floor laying down.
11 خزق بجسمه.
11 holes in his body.
All I have are 10 fingers.
10
toes, 10 fingers. Whatever.
Yeah. 10
This
fingers.
is how it starts. And the whole song is me talking to my friend, not to shut his eyes.
Not to shut his eyes, yeah.
So and just waiting for the ambulance. Please don't shut your eyes, just because if he closes his eyes, that's it. So that's the whole thing is, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Please don't shut your eyes. Hey, what the fuck are you recording this? Just go shout at the ambulance. That's the whole song, and people think it as like it's a real song. Like, what's the name of the friend that you lost? And I didn't. It's just based on true facts. Real friends that I have and I lost, but I collected all of them and I created realist fictional character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for me personally, when I first started writing slam poetry, my first slam poem sort of like poured out of me. Like it almost felt like I wasn't writing it and I was like a vessel to it. Can you speak to how it's like there's that, but there's also taking your time and like sitting down to write and like the spectrum of that?
Not at this point, bro. I'm really fighting overthinking. It's just there's just a lot of thoughts and a lot of creations, and suddenly the technicality part comes in. Yeah, but it doesn't rhyme. It needs more syllables. It's not the melody that you want. I'm just fighting that, and but the beautiful thing, it's a process. I like that. So this painful process, it will give birth to something that I would really admire. But sometimes I just write a line, like that's an amazing line, but the line ends in a syllable that is just like, yeah, you should just go into that syllable and into that flow, and then you start thinking technicalities, and that's so I wish I can reply, but now I'm not I'm in that struggle. You just fight yourself for like just like a month, and then you go to the studio and suddenly 10 songs comes out. So I'm good. I like that process.
How do you think your identity as an artist has evolved from when you started until now? I mean, are your priorities different? Like you spoke about how you're trying to achieve this balance with shedding light on a political reality, but then also being the entertainer that you are. Is this something you've always struggled with since the beginning? I feel like in the beginning you're probably more political or like only political, and then now you've kind of like sort of blossomed into
disagree. No, I disagree. I've been everything and nothing
all the time.
All the time. It's just the process. It's just when I do an interview and they're like, so you do politics and this is what do you think about Gaza? So it's like, fuck you, I have sex songs.
Right.
Don't put me in that corner. If Israel, if the occupation stops, are you telling me that if the occupation stops, I'm going to stop creating? Are you telling me that if Israel is going to say, okay, we are going to stop existing, then maybe I should beg them to stay, because if they go, I might not rhyme anymore. Fuck you, no. We die from other things, that. And then if I go and I do another like that, that E-entertainment or MTV stuff, and we're like, so you're hip, you're cool. Like, fuck you, we suffer from occupation. It's it's that.
Yes.
It's everything and it's nothing. A human. And this is even what people. This is what even people who are really pro-Palestinian miss sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like that hidden racism. Like, we are pro-Palestinians, and then you go to perform and they come to your show in good meanings, of course, and all they want to hear about you is Palestine and about that. Yeah, fuck the borders, fuck the separation wall. If the wall stop existing, and then maybe those people will stop listening to me. So are you telling me that I need the occupation?
I think because I was introduced to you in very much in this context of being a Palestinian in the US, being active in activism, being involved with like Students for Justice in Palestine, and hearing that there were these, Palestinians in 48 making rap music, talking about the struggle. Like for me, it was very much in the beginning, I saw like the music that Dan was making to be very political because of the way I was introduced to it. And maybe some of it, like you said, is like my own like struggle as a Palestinian in exile, reducing the Palestinian experience to that because I'm not there. And that's something that like I struggle with, which is that the complexity of the experience has been sort of deprived of me, because the only thing I know is that like we weren't allowed to go back, and then we built a life elsewhere. And so I'm really happy that you explained it in that way, because it helps me understand your perspective on all of that, and the fact that, you know, sometimes
Yeah,
SJP needs to to chill out.
Yeah, but you're يعني originally Palestinian, so it's your right to look for these things. I'm just talking about media in general, يعني مش.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What you said reminds me of a Walt Whitman quote where it's like people are complex and they often sometimes contradict themselves, right? He said, do I contradict myself? Very well, I contradict myself. I'm large. I contain multitudes.
Yes.
But that's the thing about just being a human being. هذا كل الcomplicity يعني كل التركيبات هدول. I'm like, it's just some side sees you only as a terrorist, while the other side see you as a hero. But sometimes you can just in between. You can just be
Sometimes you're a terrorist hero.
You can just be just. Sometimes you're just stupid. I have stupid moments. There's these expectations of you of being either being oh, can you speak English? They expect you to be you're not connected to the world, and some people are like, oh, you listen to do you watch I don't know, South Park, or do you do superficial stuff? So what do you enjoy life in between? It's not like you wake up and you just all of. I'm just trying. So this is my art, and my biggest hits are not that political. Sometimes people I grew up in, like if you look at Tupac can go from Changes to California Love. So he can make you dance, or he can just make you dance. He can make you bounce your head. You know,
and he can drop a diss track.
Yeah, I'll take someone else. One of my biggest influence, go with Kanye West, for example. He can drop Bush doesn't care about black people, and he can go like just drop a single just that makes you dance, or a love song.
You want to know something super crazy about that? When Kanye West said George Bush doesn't care about black people, George Bush later said that was the lowest moment in his presidency.
No, he has 3 pages on his. He had that autobiography book. Yeah,
he said it was the lowest moment of his presidency. George Bush, president on 9/11. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't that maybe take precedent? I don't know.
No, but he had 3 pages on his autobiography about Kanye West.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You can go and say, wow, how Kanye was influential. And it's like, really? Is that your biggest concern? Dude, you destroyed Iraq, you motherfucker.
Just more evidence that George Bush did 9/11, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, okay.
I don't have proofs.
Yeah. You don't need to comment on that. You know, that was just for me. I'm not trying to get you in trouble with your publicist.
I comment on things that I know. On things that I know.
Yeah.
Your manager is like, Tamer, what the hell did you talk about?
Bro, why did 9/11 come up?
No. I think that in my life, I'm going to focus on things that I can change. I just can say that the colonialism of the U.S. and the Bush destroyed Iraq.
And Afghanistan and Syria and Libya and
Syria,
Somalia, pretty much everywhere.
Not to take the but not to take off the responsibility of the Arabic peoples as well. So,
what is something that you wish people knew about you? What is something you wish people knew about your art?
Which people? People, yani.
Your audience, the world. I mean, you can interpret it how you want.
Yeah, we don't mean like the police.
We don't mean like the Mossad.
No. It's not what I meant. It's you need people to understand the language. I just wish that people would know that I really battle so hard between my next song just so I can sound different from my latest song. That's what it keeps me. It's like I need to do it differently and still be good, and it's just And I think people know everything about me, even if they don't know it by verbs. I think they feel my energy. They feel how my motor and my engine works. I've been working for 22 years and I'm still kicking it. That energy, can drive me to wrongs or right, but still moving. And I know that I still have a lot of projects coming. And that's all I need. Just people to, judge me from my music and my art. That's it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I super respect about you as an artist and a person is just your ability to like evolve and grow. And I see the evolution in every track, right? And it's like you're consistent as well. So it's much respect from my end. We're super happy to have you on the pod, and thanks so much for your time.
Shukran كثير. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tamer.
All right. Cheers.
In January, we're going to have the new single. It's going to called Goter.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Perfect.
called what?
Last time, Goter.
Gutter?
Goter, it's a slang that we use here. Goter, it's a slang.
Okay.
It's an Arabic slang that we use here.
Oh.
It means that just get the fuck out of here. Get out.
Oh, okay.
But it's actually taken from when the English people were here and they used to tell the Palestinians, go there, so it just became go. It's the next single.
How's it
it's
spelled?
The first time I'm doing it. I don't know. We're just, because now we need to deliver it to Spotify and to everything, so we are just arguing how the fuck should we do it in English. And somebody
I'm just saying because
name it Go There. I call when I say go there, for me it's GOTTER.
Yeah, that works.
It sounds like gutter also, which is like like dirty,
that's what
I thought he was saying.
Itamar.
Yeah,
that's what Itamar says. Itamar Ziegler, the guy, the amazing guy who did the whole soundtrack of Junction 48, and he did Dam's album Birhan Omana. He did that, and it's like, just name it in Arabic, Goter, like Jim, Waw, Ta, Ya, Ya, R. And in English, just call it Go There. So we are just arguing. Anyway, we still don't know what's the name of it.
For sure. Well, we'll link to that song.
It's the first time that I'm doing drill. So I'm just happy about that.
Let's
go.
I'm
using auto-tunes there, so I'm just happy.
Let's fucking go.
That's so cool. And علمت شيء جديد. I don't know the slang, so it's like now I know some slang that I didn't know.
Yeah, but when they played the auto-tune on the studio, I was like recording, I was like, no, don't use fucking auto-tune. I'm a real artist. Oh, it sounds fun. It's so easy to convince. Anyway, that's the next one. And
we're looking forward to
Empire. Yeah, it's coming out with Empire and with Rob's management. So I'm very happy that it's still kicking.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Shukran.
Mabruk, and shukran. See you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Shukran alaikum.
Folks, that's been another episode of the Palestine Pod. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you to our guest, Tamer Nafar. Thank you to everybody who hangs out with us weekly, and especially shout out to our people on Patreon. We love y'all so much. Go ahead and check out our website, www.palestinepod.com. Follow us on Instagram at @thepalestinepod. Send us an email at palestinepod@gmail.com, and check us out on Patreon, www.patreon.com/palestinepod. That has been another episode of the Palestine Pod. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. Damn, what a fire ep, dog. This girl Aisha is so sweet. She said, I'm so happy I signed up for the Patreon because it's like hanging out with Lara and Michael, getting closer to them.
Oh my God.
Adorable.